God says, your miracle will be revealed in 5 minutes after you see this secret. It's only for you. But very bad news will come to your house tonight if you skip this message. Open this message quickly before it's too late. This moment is not random. It is not a coincidence. It's a divine invitation, personally whispered into your heart by the Lord Himself, so that your spirit may receive what has long been kept hidden just for you. What is about to be revealed is not meant to alarm or frighten you, but to awaken you and draw you into the deeper waters of His love and mercy. If your heart is weary from the weight of unanswered prayers, if you've been waiting in silence for a breakthrough, or walking through days when everything seems empty and uncertain, then let these words wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. You are not forgotten, and what you are about to read is not meant for the crowds, it is meant for you alone. There is something sacred and personal within this message, and once you see it, everything you feel will begin to shift. Type Amen if you believe. There is a stirring in the heavens right now, as if angels are being sent forth with urgency, carrying blessings in their hands and peace in their wings. The Lord is near to those who are hurting. He watches closely when tears fall quietly behind closed doors. There are seasons when the soul feels crushed under trials, when every breath feels heavier than the last, and even prayers feel too soft to reach the sky. Yet, in those very moments, God is closest. He leans in when we whisper, and He cradles us when we feel like falling. His love doesn't rush, and it never turns away from our pain. It is patient, it is full, and it always shows up, sometimes quietly, sometimes like thunder, but always on time. The secret you're uncovering now isn't buried in mystery or wrapped in riddles. It is the truth that no matter how dark the night feels, the morning is already being prepared. God is not waiting for you to be stronger or more perfect. He is stepping into your brokenness and declaring that the blessing is already on the way. Not because you've earned it, but because He delights in giving good things to His children. And you, beloved, are His child. You are not just seen, you are deeply loved. Do not look to your failures and flaws as proof that you are undeserving. Instead, remember that Jesus walked into the lives of those who were overlooked, shamed, and burdened. He sat with the forgotten. He lifted the ashamed. He healed the hurting. And today, He is doing the same with you. He's not calling you to carry more. He's asking you to let go and let Him take it. Type 1111 if you trust in God. As you sit with these words, know that you are being wrapped in a grace that goes beyond understanding. Even when you don't see it, heaven is moving. Doors that once felt sealed shut are beginning to shake loose. Walls that towered over your dreams are starting to crack. Chains that held you captive to fear, shame, or doubt are slowly falling apart. This is not by accident. This is God's hand, working in places you cannot yet see. There is no corner of your life too small for His attention, and no heartbreak too deep for His healing. What you thought was the end is only a bend in the road. What you feared was your failure is becoming the soil for something beautiful to grow. You do not need to chase miracles. You need only to rest in the One who performs them. He has not turned His face from you. He has not delayed your miracle to punish you. He is preparing your heart to carry the blessing with strength and peace, not just for today, but for the days to come. His timing is not slow, it is wise. And the waiting has not been empty. Every tear, every struggle, every prayer whispered in the night has been gathered. None of it is lost. He has heard, and he has seen. And now, he is answering. Not with thunder, not always with signs, but with a steady unfolding of his promise, like morning light slowly climbing over the mountains. You may not notice the shift all at once, but the change has already begun. It started the moment your heart leaned toward him again, even if your hands were trembling and your spirit felt weak. Faith is not about being sure. It is about showing up in the silence and saying, "God, I still choose you." And he meets that whisper with power. Stay open, even if your heart still carries scars. Stay soft, even if life has tried to harden you. Because the one who calls you by name is not finished. The secret is not in striving harder or proving your worth. The secret is in surrender. It's in allowing yourself to be loved fully, right now, without condition or performance. This message is your invitation back into his presence, back into his peace, back into the quiet strength of knowing that you belong to him. While it still feels far, it's actually closer than you can imagine. God isn't distant. He's not watching from a far-off throne. He is present, involved, and deeply moved by the very details of your life. Type 222 if you're ready to walk by faith. There are times when the soul gets tired. Not just the kind of tired that a nap can fix, but the deep kind, the ache that sits in your chest when you've tried, prayed, hoped, and still nothing seems to change. Sometimes the silence is loud, and it can feel like your prayers are floating into an empty sky. But the truth is, every word you've spoken in faith has landed directly in the hands of a loving Father. He has heard them all. Not one has been ignored. Not one has been missed. He is gathering them, answering them in ways that may look different than you imagined, but will always be better than what you thought you needed. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. Right now, even in this very moment, God is working in the stillness. Even when nothing seems to be moving, he is never inactive. Heaven doesn't sleep. Angels don't rest. Your name is known in heaven, and your situation is not forgotten. God is not just aware of your pain, he is walking through it with you, holding every shattered piece of your heart with a tenderness that no one else can offer. Sometimes, the breakthrough doesn't come in a loud or dramatic moment. Sometimes, it comes in the soft healing of your spirit, when you finally realize you're not alone. The miracle might not arrive in the way you expect, but it will come in the way you need. You may feel surrounded by darkness, but God specializes in showing up when hope seems gone. He doesn't wait for the storm to pass to speak peace. He brings peace right into the heart of it. Even when you feel numb or broken, God does not recoil from you. He does not pull away. He leans in closer. His hands are gentle. His love is not shaken by your fears. He does not measure your worth by your strength, but by his own love. He came to heal, to restore, to redeem, and that's exactly what He's doing in your life now, even if you can't see the full picture yet. You are being lifted, carried, protected in ways that defy human understanding. This isn't the end of your story. This is the middle, and it's where most of the miracles are made. Not in grand displays, but in quiet faith. Not in perfection, but in surrender. Type 555 if you believe God is working in silence. Some of the greatest blessings come right after our most painful seasons. That's not a coincidence, it's the rhythm of grace. God allows us to walk through valleys not to break us, but to build in us a faith that cannot be shaken. And once we come out the other side, the light we carry is stronger than before. This moment you're in right now may feel like it's stretching you, but it's also preparing you. You're being shaped, molded, and gently positioned for what's coming. And what's coming is not small. There's a reason you felt this stirring in your spirit. There's a reason this message reached you when it did. God is drawing you deeper, inviting you to trust Him even when everything around you says it's time to give up. He knows how hard it's been. He's seen the nights when you cried yourself to sleep, the mornings when you didn't want to get up, and the moments when you smiled just to hide the pain. None of it has gone unnoticed. He has kept every tear, and He's turning them into something beautiful. You may not feel strong, but strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just choosing to get up one more time. Sometimes it's choosing to believe that God still has a plan, even when everything looks like it's falling apart. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of faith unlocks miracles. Let these words hold you. Let them be a reminder that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned. God is closer now than ever. He's already in the details of your tomorrow. He's already standing at the end of the road, waiting to hand you the victory He's been preparing while you were still praying. This is not the end for you. It's the beginning of something sacred, something eternal. You've walked through fire, but you won't come out smelling like smoke. You'll come out stronger, softer, and full of wisdom that could only be found in the waiting. The pain will not be wasted. The silence will not go unanswered. And your faith, your quiet, trembling faith, will be honored. There is something precious in the way God works. He doesn't rush. He moves with purpose. He allows space for us to grow, to let go, to be still, and then, when the time is right, He does what only He can do. He brings beauty out of brokenness, joy out of mourning, and peace in the middle of chaos. And He's doing that for you. Don't let go now. You've come too far. Your miracle is not behind you. It's ahead. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit tender. And most of all, keep believing. Because right now, this very minute, something is happening in your favor. You might not hear it. You might not see it. But it's real. This is a sacred moment, set apart by the One who created you, to remind you that He has never left your side. Though your journey has been heavy and the nights long, the Lord has been walking beside you every step of the way, even when it felt like you were the only one moving forward. Type yes to affirm that you are ready for what God has prepared. There is a sweetness in God's timing, though it often arrives through seasons we didn't choose. It is in these quiet, stretching places that our faith is shaped, not through instant answers, but through gentle endurance. And while you may be exhausted from holding on, heaven is not silent. There is movement above you that your eyes can't yet see. Prayers that felt buried are now being brought to life in the hidden spaces. What felt like delay was really God working in the soil of your soul, planting seeds that will bloom when the light returns. You have not missed your miracle. You are not too late, and it is not too far. In fact, your miracle is moving toward you at this very moment, in 1,000 unseen ways. It may not arrive how you expected, but it will arrive in the exact way your heart needs. The blessing has your name on it, written in grace and mercy, waiting for the perfect moment to reach your hands. Using a simple 7-second brain wave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. So many times, we try to hold ourselves together, to smile through the pain, to act like everything is fine when our hearts feel anything but. God sees that. He sees behind the mask. He knows what you've carried without saying a word. He knows the moments you felt like giving up, and the days you questioned whether He still hears you. And still, He remains, unshaken, unmoved, unwavering in His love for you. His love is not dependent on how strong you are. It does not weaken when you doubt, and it does not grow distant when you are tired. He is steady, like a lighthouse in the storm, always pointing you back to safety. You don't need to be perfect to receive His goodness. You just need to be open. Let your guard down. Let His love flood the parts of you that have been hiding in fear and shame. He is not here to judge you. He is here to heal you. Type 1919 to receive miracles into your life. What's coming is greater than what you lost. The peace He is preparing for you will quiet the storms that once shook you. The joy He is bringing will replace the sorrow that sat silently in your chest for too long. The doors He's about to open will remind you why the others had to close. God is never random in His movements. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment was allowed only because something better was being prepared behind the scenes. Sometimes, we think we've missed it. That maybe we made the wrong choice, said the wrong thing, or took too long to act. But God is not limited by time or mistake. He is not measuring your future by your past. He's not keeping a record of your wrongs, waiting for you to finally get everything right. He's simply asking you to come. To come tired, come broken, come confused if you must, but just come. He will do the rest. When Jesus walked this earth, He didn't rush past the hurting. He stopped. He noticed. He touched the ones no one else would touch, spoke to the ones everyone else ignored, and healed the ones who had been forgotten by the world. That same Jesus is alive today, and He is still doing what He did then. He is still stopping for you. Still seeing you. Still loving you, not from a distance, but up close, where your pain lives and where your prayers rise. You don't need to earn His love. It's already yours. This message may feel too gentle to hold the power you need, but that's the beauty of how God works. He doesn't always shake the mountains. Sometimes, He whispers peace into our souls until the storms calm on their own. Sometimes, His answer doesn't come in fire, but in the still, soft breath of His presence settling over our hearts. And sometimes, what we thought we needed most is replaced by something even more healing, a peace that doesn't depend on things going right, but on knowing that God is holding everything together. Your life is not over. Your story is not done. There are still chapters waiting to be written, still days that will hold laughter, still moments that will feel light again. It may take time. It may require patience. But nothing that God writes ends in despair. He always leads us back to hope. And no matter what the enemy tried to steal, God is the restorer. He can rebuild from ashes, resurrect from dust, and turn what was meant for harm into the very thing that brings healing to others through you. You are being restored even now. Quietly, gently, fully. Keep showing up. Keep choosing to believe, even when it feels impossible. Your faith doesn't have to be loud or flawless, it only needs to be honest. And when you give God your honest heart, He will meet you with His unshakable love. He will begin to move in ways you never expected, through people you didn't see coming, in moments that will catch your breath and leave you whispering, "Only God." This is the moment He's been waiting for, to remind you that the promise still stands, the miracle is still coming, and your pain has not been in vain. There is healing in the air around you now, and it's drawing near with more power than you know. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, not by what you see. Some days, it feels like everything is pressing in at once, bills unpaid, relationships unraveling, health failing, faith trembling. You may have reached a point where even lifting your head felt like too much. But somehow, you kept going. Somehow, you held on. And that, right there, is what God treasures. He doesn't expect perfection. He cherishes endurance. He celebrates every time you chose to hope again, to pray again, to keep trusting even while your heart was breaking. You see, nothing is wasted with God. Not the seasons that felt dry, not the nights you couldn't sleep, not the days when joy felt like a stranger. Every bit of your journey is being woven into something far more beautiful than you could ever imagine. When you look back one day, you won't see failure. You'll see grace. You'll see how every time you thought you were forgotten, He was actually lifting you up, shielding you from things you didn't even know were trying to reach you. This season you've been walking through has not been punishment. It has been preparation. There are blessings so weighty, so full of purpose, that they cannot be given lightly. They must be carried by hearts that have been refined through fire, made tender through pain, and strengthened through surrender. You may not feel strong, but God has been building a quiet strength within you. One that can't be shaken. One that doesn't depend on everything going right but remains firm because it's rooted in Him. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. This is why He's calling you closer now, not to scare you, but to steady you. Not to threaten you, but to bless you. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with everything, even what you don't understand. When we feel weakest, we often think we've failed God somehow. That maybe we're too broken to receive His love, too far to be brought back, too flawed to be chosen. But those thoughts are lies. Because the truth is, Jesus didn't come for the perfect. He came for the weary, the wounded, the lost, and the ones who don't know how to keep going anymore. He came for the ones just like you, and just like me. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to hide your pain or pretend to be strong. You can be real here. You can bring your mess, your fears, your questions, and your doubts, and lay them at His feet. And what you'll find isn't anger or rejection. You'll find open arms, a healing touch, and the quiet assurance that you are safe in Him. God is not surprised by your struggle. He isn't ashamed of your need. In fact, it's in our need that His presence becomes the most powerful. He meets us at the edge of our strength, right where we feel like we can't go on. That's where He speaks the loudest. Not always in words, but in peace that calms our spirit, in small shifts that restore our hope, in little reminders that we are not alone after all. Right now, He is bringing restoration, not just to your circumstances, but to your soul. You've been drained. You've been discouraged. But you are about to feel joy return in quiet waves. You'll wake up one morning and realize the heaviness is lighter. You'll smile again, without forcing it. You'll breathe deeply and know, somehow, that healing has begun. There's no magic formula. Just trust. Just faith, even the size of a mustard seed. God doesn't need you to move mountains. He simply needs you to believe He can. And He will. In His perfect time, in His perfect way. This isn't the end of your story. It's a turning point. A holy pause where God begins to rewrite the pain with peace, the sorrow with strength, the loss with love. Don't be afraid of what's coming. Don't fear the unknown. Because the same God who walked with you through the valley is now leading you to the mountain. And when you stand there, looking back at the road you traveled, you'll understand why it had to happen this way. You'll see how the darkness taught you how to see the light. You'll realize that what you thought would break you actually made you softer, kinder, stronger, more like Jesus. And you'll thank Him, not for the pain, but for how He carried you through it. So breathe. Be still. Let go of what you cannot fix. Release what was never yours to hold. And let God take His place at the center of your heart again. Let Him speak life over the dry bones. Let Him calm the storm inside. Let Him remind you that you are, and have always been, held by a love that will never leave. You are not reading this by chance. This moment was created just for you to receive what your heart has been quietly crying out for. Type 2323 if your heart believes God is not finished with you. So often we convince ourselves that silence means absence. We assume that if God hasn't moved in the way we expected, then maybe He isn't moving at all. But silence is not the same as stillness, and stillness is not the same as inaction. Sometimes, God moves beneath the surface, beyond the noise, building something deeper than the answer we asked for. He's preparing the miracle not just for you, but also preparing you for the miracle. You may not have seen the answer yet, but that doesn't mean He hasn't sent it. You may not have felt the healing yet, but that doesn't mean it hasn't begun. Miracles don't always rush in loudly, they often start quietly, like a soft wind stirring the leaves. And if you felt that tug in your heart lately, that sudden sense of calm in the middle of your confusion, it's because God is already close. He's been closer than you think, not just watching you, but walking with you through every moment of fear, frustration, and fatigue. Sometimes, all we can do is fall at His feet and say, "Lord, I don't understand, but I trust you." And that trust, even if it's whispered through trembling lips, is enough to move the heart of God. He does not wait for perfection. He waits for surrender. He does not ask us to be fearless. He simply asks us to give Him our fear. And when we do, He lifts it, slowly, gently, surely. You are not too late for what God has planned. You have not missed your moment. Nothing in your life has disqualified you from His promises. What the enemy tried to break in you, God is using to build something eternal. He is not in a hurry, but He is never late. His timing may stretch us, but it also saves us from settling for less than what His heart desires for us. And His desire is to bless you, restore you, and walk you into the fullness of what He created you for. Type 2020 if you claim your miracle is already written in God's plan. The journey has been long. You've battled through things most people will never understand. There were nights you didn't think you'd make it, mornings when you woke up still carrying yesterday's pain, and moments when giving up seemed easier than holding on. But you didn't quit. And that matters. That counts. Heaven saw it all, your quiet strength, your silent cries, your courageous faith even in the dark. And now, God is responding. A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. There is no need to strive. There's no need to perform. God isn't measuring you by how loud your praise is or how strong you appear. He sees straight into your heart, and He delights in your honesty. When you cry, He listens. When you feel weak, He draws near. When you call on Him, He answers, not always with the words you expect, but with the presence you need. You don't have to be whole for Him to come close. You don't have to be happy for Him to love you. He comes into the broken spaces. He sits with us in the dust. And there, without needing to fix us first, He begins to restore. His love is patient. It doesn't rush your healing. It doesn't shame your wounds. It simply wraps itself around you like a covering, staying through the night until light begins to shine again. You may feel like everything around you is uncertain, but the one who holds you is steady. Life can feel like waves crashing over you, but God is the anchor. He is not overwhelmed by what overwhelms you. His peace isn't shaken by your anxiety. His strength isn't threatened by your weakness. In fact, it's in your weakness that His strength becomes most real. Right now, Even if you can't see it yet, things are shifting. The things that once seemed impossible are being touched by divine hands. Closed doors are creaking open. Lost opportunities are finding their way back to you. Broken dreams are being revived, not just as memories, but as promises waiting to be fulfilled. You haven't been forgotten. You've been protected. And now, the season of waiting is starting to turn. Your heart may be cautious. You've been let down before. You've hoped too hard, only to be hurt. But this is not about the past. This is about God doing something new. This is about a breakthrough that isn't coming from your effort, but from His grace. Let yourself believe again. Let yourself hope again. Not in people, not in the outcome, but in the one who holds it all. The path ahead may not be fully clear, but the hand that's leading you is trustworthy. He's not guiding you toward more pain. He's leading you into peace. It may come slowly, quietly, almost unnoticed at first, but soon, you'll feel it. You'll know the weight is lighter. The tears are fewer. The strength is returning. And you'll realize that something holy has taken place in your soul. God is not just preparing a blessing for you. He's preparing you to walk into it with peace, joy, and deep gratitude. He's making sure that when it arrives, you'll have the strength to carry it and the wisdom to hold it well. This is not just about what's coming. It's about who you're becoming in the process. You are becoming someone who has walked through fire and come out refined. You are becoming someone who has learned to lean on God when there was nothing else to lean on. And because of that, when the miracle arrives, it won't just change your life, it will touch everyone around you. Every step you've taken in the dark, every prayer whispered through tears, every time you chose to believe again when doubt was screaming louder, that has all been seen, honored, and held close by the one who loves you more than anyone ever could. And now, something is beginning to unfold. Slowly, gently, beautifully. Type Amen if you believe God is turning your pain into purpose. You have walked through fire and come out still standing. That is not weakness. That is faith. You may not feel like a warrior, but the truth is, you have fought battles no one knows about and kept walking when it would have been easier to quit. That kind of strength doesn't come from the world. That kind of strength comes from knowing that you belong to a God who never lets go, even when your grip is slipping. That strength is born in surrender. There's been a shift in the atmosphere around you. The season of silence is ending. The seeds you planted in tears are beginning to break the surface. You may not see the full bloom yet, but the roots are strong, and growth is happening beneath what is visible. Just as a tree grows underground before it ever reaches the light, God has been nurturing your miracle in hidden places, away from the noise, away from the chaos, away from the lies that told you it would never happen. And now, that miracle is rising. You have not waited in vain. You have not prayed in vain. You have not cried for nothing. All of it has led to this. You are standing on the edge of breakthrough, even if it doesn't look like it yet. Heaven doesn't announce itself with noise. It comes like the dawn, quiet, but unstoppable. There's something so comforting about how God works. He doesn't demand your perfection. He doesn't keep a checklist of how many times you've failed. he simply keeps showing up. Again and again. When you feel unworthy, he still stays. When you feel lost, he gently leads you back. And when you feel like you've run out of faith, he lends you his peace until you can believe again. This love isn't earned, it's given. Type 777 if you receive his peace in every part of your life. What you're about to walk into is not just an answered prayer. It's a promise fulfilled. And the beautiful part? It's going to come when you least expect it. It will be the phone call, the open door, the gentle turn of events that reminds you, God remembered me. You may feel like you've been hidden for a long time, but you've only been hidden to be healed. The wilderness wasn't punishment, it was preparation. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. In the waiting, he's been teaching you to listen, to slow down, to hear his voice above the noise. He's been softening your heart, not to make you weak, but to make you ready. Because what he has for you isn't ordinary. It's holy. It's laced with favor. And it requires the kind of heart that knows how to trust without seeing, to believe without proof, and to love without condition. You've become that kind of heart. And now, the miracle that felt like it would never come is coming. Not because you forced it, but because you let go. Not because you figured it all out, but because you stayed close to the one who already has. That's the secret heaven has been holding. Your miracle was never based on your ability to be perfect. It was always based on God's desire to love you fully. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too broken to be restored. You are not too far gone to be brought back into the light. What's been waiting for you is still waiting. The promises haven't expired. The blessings haven't been lost. They've just been waiting for the right moment, and that moment is drawing near. You'll feel it first in your spirit, a strange peace in the middle of uncertainty. Then you'll see the signs, small shifts, gentle confirmations, little things aligning. And then, like rain falling after a long drought, it will come. Not in the way you thought. In a way that's better. In a way that reminds you that God sees further than you ever could, and he loves deeper than you can understand. There's still time for your story to turn. Still space for healing. Still hope for restoration. Don't let the past whisper lies into your present. Don't let fear tell you this is all there is. Because the same God who raised the dead, calmed the storms, and healed the broken, is still the same today. And he's still moving on your behalf. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten in a crowd of prayers. You are seen, known, chosen, and fiercely loved. Let that truth settle deep in your soul, especially when everything around you says otherwise. Hold it close when you feel alone. Let it rise in your heart when doubt comes in like a flood. Because this love, God's love, is the anchor that holds through every storm. And it's holding you now. The very thing you thought would never change is already shifting. The very part of you that felt like it would always ache is being comforted. The very place that broke you is being rebuilt. And in time, you won't just survive, you'll shine. Not because the pain didn't happen, but because God stepped in and redeemed every moment of it. Not in the distance, not watching silently, but right beside you. Lifting you when you couldn't stand, holding your heart when it was too heavy, whispering hope into the quiet places of your soul. And now, He's getting ready to reveal what He's been preparing all along. Type 333 if you're ready for your breakthrough to unfold. There's something deeply beautiful about how God works. He doesn't rush. He takes His time, not because He's withholding from you, but because He's shaping what's to come with care and intention. He knows the things you haven't spoken out loud. He sees the wounds that no one else notices. He understands the parts of you that still feel unsure, afraid, tired. And yet, He never turns away. His love doesn't wait until you're strong. It meets you in the middle of your weakness. It holds you when you can't hold yourself together. It's the kind of love that knows no conditions, no limits, no end. And it's the kind of love that's been quietly surrounding you all this time. You've been in a season that stretched your faith to its edge. You've questioned things you never thought you would. You've battled thoughts that made you feel distant from God. But despite all of it, He's never stopped loving you. He's never walked away. In fact, He's been closer than ever, gathering every tear, calming every storm, and whispering again and again, "I'm not finished. There's more for you. More peace. More healing. More clarity. More joy. And it's coming, not because you've done everything right, but because God has written it into your story. His plan for you includes restoration, not regret. Redemption, not ruin. The pain you felt will not be the final word. The chapter you're in now is not where your story ends. You may feel like everything has slowed down or even stopped. You may be wondering if your prayers have been buried, if your hope was misplaced. But the truth is, God has been working in silence. He has been piecing together answers, opening doors, shifting hearts, and preparing divine appointments. And soon, what's been hidden will be revealed. Not by your force, but by His favor. Type 1717 if you believe God is still writing your story beautifully. You may not feel ready. You may not feel worthy. But grace isn't given to the ready, it's given to the willing. And God sees your willingness. He sees that small part of you that still dares to believe, that still whispers prayers when no one else is listening. That's where He begins. That's where miracles grow, in the soil of brokenness mixed with just enough faith to say, "God, I trust you, even now." Sometimes, God doesn't change the storm. He changes us within the storm. And in doing so, He makes us stronger, gentler, wiser. He transforms the way we see, the way we carry pain, the way we respond to life. And when He's finished, we're not the same. We're softer in the right ways. Braver where it matters. More rooted in Him than ever before. You are being transformed in ways you don't even realize yet. The you who doubted last year isn't the same person reading this now. The you who almost gave up last month has more endurance than ever. That's what grace does. It grows us while we're waiting. It builds us while we're breaking. And one day soon, you'll look back and realize this season didn't destroy you, it delivered you into something sacred. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. You will laugh again, deep, honest, joyful laughter. You will wake up with peace again. You will breathe without anxiety pressing on your chest. You will remember what it feels like to be whole. And not just because life got easier, but because your heart became lighter. Because God stepped into your midnight and began turning it into morning. And morning always comes. No matter how long the night. No matter how deep the darkness. Light always breaks through. God always comes through. And He's not just coming to answer your prayers, He's coming to lift your spirit, restore your hope, and remind you who you are in Him. You're not forgotten. You're not too broken. You're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for God to show you who He is. He's not disappointed in your struggle. He's proud of your resilience. He's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's already moving because He loves you. And what He's preparing will be worth every tear, every delay, every quiet battle you fought in the dark. So take a deep breath. Let His peace wash over you like gentle rain. Feel the weight begin to lift. Feel the warmth of His presence settle into your spirit. And know, really know, that He is with you, He is for you, and He's not done. Not in defeat, but in surrender. Not because you've failed, but because God is ready to take what's been burdening you and replace it with a peace you haven't felt in a very long time. Type 888 if you're ready to release the weight and walk in peace. You don't have to carry it all. You were never meant to. The world teaches us that strength looks like holding on tightly, never showing weakness, always pushing forward. But God teaches us something different. True strength is in letting go. Real faith is in saying, Lord, I can't, but I know you can. There is beauty in surrender. There is healing in handing over what you were never meant to bear. You may feel tired, tired in your soul, tired in your mind, tired in your body. And yet, even in this tiredness, you are still standing. That alone is a victory. The enemy wanted you to break. He wanted the pressure to crush your hope, to dim your faith, to silence your prayers. But he failed. Because here you are, still choosing to believe. Still choosing to open your heart to a God who never left your side, even when everything around you seemed silent. And now, because you held on, the tides are turning. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible to heaven. The silence wasn't God ignoring you, it was Him working deeper. Sometimes, He speaks in whispers so that we draw near. Sometimes, He waits until our hearts quiet down enough to hear Him. And in that quietness, He does His most powerful work. You may not have seen the breakthrough yet, but look again, can you feel the shift? It's not just in the world around you. It's in your spirit. That quiet stirring, that sudden moment of peace, even in the middle of the storm, that's God. That's Him moving, restoring, answering prayers you thought had been forgotten. Your miracle is not just something that's coming. It's something that's already begun. It's already taking shape in ways you don't yet see. And when it comes, it won't be small. It won't be something that barely gets you through. It will be more than you expected, more than you asked for, more than you thought was possible. Type 999 if you know your miracle has already started in the unseen. What God has planned for you is not fragile. It won't fall apart. It won't slip through your fingers. The blessings He's preparing have been sealed with grace and wrapped in divine timing. They are yours, and nothing can steal them, not failure, not fear, not delay. God knows exactly when to release them into your life, and when He does, it will be perfect. You haven't been overlooked. You've been prepared. The waiting has not been wasted. The detours were not dead ends. Every part of this journey has shaped you, softened you, refined you. You are stronger than you were. Wiser than you knew. Closer to God than you've ever been before. There were times you didn't understand why things happened the way they did. The people who walked away. The doors that slammed shut. The moments that hurt deeper than words could explain. But every ending that felt like loss was really God's protection. Every delay was His mercy. And every heartbreak became a doorway through which He could come closer. He was never punishing you. He was loving you in ways that didn't always feel like love, but always led to healing. And now, that healing is here. Quietly, steadily, powerfully. It's not just healing your body or your circumstances. It's healing your heart. You won't walk forward carrying the same weight you once did. You won't live with the same fear, the same anxiety, the same shame. God is breaking those chains right now. He's speaking peace over your mind. He's touching the deep places of your soul that no one else could reach. And He's restoring what was broken, mending what was torn, redeeming what was lost. You may not feel ready for the next chapter, but grace is going to carry you. You may not know all the steps, but the one who walks before you has already cleared the way. You don't have to be perfect to move forward. You just need to be willing to trust again. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. God is asking for your heart, not your performance. He's asking for your surrender, not your perfection. He's not interested in how well you've managed the pain, He's interested in healing it. In walking with you into the kind of freedom that feels like breathing again after holding your breath for too long. You are not alone. You never have been. And everything you've been through is being used for something greater than you know. Every time you chose to trust when you had every reason not to, you planted seeds of faith. And those seeds are beginning to grow. Slowly. Quietly. But surely. Type 1010 if you know God has been carrying you the whole time. Sometimes the miracle isn't just in the outcome, it's in the fact that you made it through. The fact that you're still here, still breathing, still standing even with a heart that's been through so much. That's not weakness. That's grace. That's evidence that heaven was fighting for you even when you didn't have the strength to pray. That's the hand of Jesus reaching into your storm, saying, "You are mine, and I won't let go." You may have walked through valleys so dark that you questioned everything, your purpose, your worth, your faith. But through it all, God never once stopped believing in you. He never doubted your value. He never saw you as too broken to heal. He looked at you, even in your lowest place, and saw someone worth redeeming, worth saving, worth loving. That's who you are to Him. And now, He's whispering something new into your spirit. He's saying, it's time to rise again. Not in your own strength, but in His. Not with the weight of the past still on your shoulders, but with a heart that's ready to receive something brand new. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a healing so deep, so holy, that when you look back, you'll no longer see the pain, you'll see the hand of God that brought you through it. He's not calling you to be perfect. He's calling you to be present. To let Him in. To let Him do what only He can do, restore the places in you that have been cracked by disappointment, bruised by betrayal, and hollowed out by loss. He doesn't need you to hide the damage. He wants to step into it and make it whole. Type 1313 if you believe God is healing what no one else can see. There's a peace coming that will make sense of the waiting. A joy that will wash over the sorrow. A breakthrough that will turn your mourning into dancing. But it begins with letting go. Letting go of what was. Letting go of who walked away. Letting go of the fear that it might never get better. Because when your hands are open, when your heart is surrendered, God can begin to fill you again. And what He gives is always more than what was taken. He doesn't just restore. He multiplies. He returns joy in greater measure, fills you with strength you didn't know you had, and breathes life into dreams you thought were dead. You may have felt like too much time has passed, like too many doors have closed, but God is not limited by time. He does not depend on man-made schedules. He moves in His own timing, and His timing is always perfect. He is working right now, in ways you cannot see yet. He's aligning things in your favor, preparing hearts, shifting circumstances, and making a way. What seemed impossible will soon feel inevitable. What felt delayed will arrive right on time. And you'll know, without a doubt, that it was never about your efforts, it was always about His love. So breathe. Let the pressure fall away. Let the fear fade. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to carry it all anymore. The Lord is your shepherd, your provider, your defender, and your healer. He's not pacing the floors of heaven, wondering how to help you. He already knows. And He's already moving. You've survived enough. Now it's time to thrive in His peace. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to walk into what He's promised. You've held on through the pain, now it's time to receive the joy that's been waiting for you on the other side of your faith. What's ahead of you is far more beautiful than what's behind you. And the miracle? It won't just change your life. It will renew your spirit. It will soften your heart again. It will remind you that God is not only real, but that He is deeply, intimately involved in your life. He sees you. He hears you. And He loves you, right here, right now, as you are. Don't let go of hope. Not now. You're too close. What you've been praying for, crying for, and believing for, it's coming. And when it arrives, you'll realize why it took time. You'll understand why the wait was so hard. Because what's on the other side of this season is not just an answer, it's a blessing that your heart will carry for the rest of your life.